All right, good morning, everybody. Um, Sorry for the delay, and they finally found out what was giving me all these headaches. Boy, I better be glad my clinic was open today. Let's get to it. Johnny Hockey. That's right, Johnny Grudreau. Grudreau totally revolutionized the game. Definitely revolutionized the game of hockey. Back in 2012, 2013, 14, he opened people's eyes with the way he dazzled in college hockey. And NHL scouts said, "You got to be kidding. This little guy is doing all this." And Johnny was a tough guy for a little guy. Johnny would get his head pinned in on the boards. He'll do all the little things. In return, he electrified the NHL. And the NHL needed him. I'm going to tell you why the NHL needed Johnny Gaudreau, because let's call it like it is. Sidney Crosby, Jerome McGinley, Alexander Ovechkin are boring hockey players. That's right, you heard it from me. Boring. There was no Austin Matthews yet. There was no Patrick Laine, Matty Tkachuk, Gail McCarr, no Connor McDavid yet. They weren't drafted in the league. So what this guy did was stick it to the NFL. That's right, you heard me right. Stick it to the NFL. Because their Johnny produced right away. Johnny Manziel was a complete bust. A $1 billion bust, because that's what his dad has in his trust. But he was a complete imbecile. Goudreau. All he did, folks, was electrify arenas. And to see so many people who have reached out to him, to his family, since what happened to him, says a lot about him, about the type of player he is, the type of human being he was. Goudreau electrified hockey fans all over the world. And he was taken away, sadly, on Thursday night, as him and his brother Matty, God bless both of their souls, was both hit by a drunk driver who had 6 beers, and believe it or not, to this second, is still denying that he did anything wrong. You can't make this BS up. Just had a birthday 3 weeks ago. He turned 31 on August 13th. Born August 13th, 1993. Passed away August 29th, 2004. From Salem, New Jersey. And this is why a lot of people, especially in the hockey world, is very angry that this happened, because it's one thing if Goudreau was drinking and the car went out of control, but these are just two guys in their hometown riding their bikes. And this nut job, who to this second is in denial, uh, you know, I spent the entire weekend, and I'm not joking about this, folks, over 14 hours. Shout out to TSN up in Canada. And you heard from all of them, Gordon Miller, all these guys talk about Johnny Grudreau as a great American hockey player. Shout out to my boy Brian Burke, who gave him the ultimate compliment. He was the one, if you want to be real about it, he was the one that really captivated the minds of the hockey world about how good he was as a collegiate player. And now we will never see him lace up a pair of skates again. One second. I haven't seen Braves ball 8 in a hot minute, man. Salute to you, family. I already gave you a salute. Rest in peace, Johnny and Matt. They lived right near me and grew up and played at the same hockey rink as I did. A lot of people I know knew him. It's sad. Yeah, I wish Braves ball 8 would have stayed. Once I start doing a monologue, folks, I don't stop. But let me get back to him. Uh, Let me get back to Johnny Goodrow. Um, his electrifying skill lifted a deadbeat franchise. Plus, back then, Tree Living was sitting on his first round picks every year. I mean, we saw two of them and three of them in the Stanley Cup Finals. Reinhardt, uh, Sam Bennett, and of course Matty Tkachuk. So the man could draft first rounders. Did a great job in Calgary, but it's Craig Conroy's time. Yes, like I was saying, and I apologize for that. Goudreau electrified buildings. He left an example for the up and coming stars. Yeah, I can't stay. Hey, Braves, I can't stop thinking about it either. TSN up in Canada's done a phenomenal job covering Johnny Goudreau, Brian Burke, Gord Miller, play by play for the NHL, uh, the Scouts. Now, let me tell you some real stuff. In Calgary, they're not talking about it. And the word out there, from what I hear, is they're going to build him, they're going to build Goudreau a statue out there for the new arena. They're going to retire his number. But when it comes to media, they're not really touching on it. Like they're still in shock out there. But the memorial they left with him out there is gorgeous. Right outside the Saddle Dome, Skittles. If you never heard the story, let me tell you the story. His father Guy owned an ice rink in Braves ball neck of the woods. Hey Braves, for you to be a Brave fan in South Philly, you Braves man. Um, his father Guy opened up an ice rink many moons ago when the boys were kids, and they named the rink after Johnny. And from everything I saw over the weekend, people are stunned. The Phillies game, they before the game started Friday night, a tribute to Johnny Goudreau and Matty Goudreau. Cincinnati, a tribute. Yankee Stadium, a tribute. LeBron James, a tribute. Mike Trout is from that area, and he was in disbelief that the Goudreau brothers are not with us anymore. South Philadelphia, let me tell you something. Philadelphia has taken this real hard. Okay, they have taken this real hard. I am nah, I'm not a Braves fan. This was my high school home. Oh, your high school name. I'm a Phillies fan. There you go. I'm glad the Philadelphia Phillies got that act straight because that schedule from the All Star game to Sunday was the most brutal schedule I've ever seen for a team. And the Phillies had an 8.5 game lead on the Dodgers. whipped the Dodgers behind in Philadelphia, and came back. You know, the nicest tribute I saw was from Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts said, quote, this guy was real Philly, real South Jersey, loved the Philly teams, loved the birds, and at the end of it, he put fly, Johnny, fly. People don't understand, Braves, how much of an impact Johnny Mandro, I apologize, Johnny Grudreau was to the NHL. Mace, search up Holly Dell. They have a nice memorial for both Johnny and Matt. That was the rink they grew up in, and I played in that rink. They went back to when they were home. Yeah, yeah. Johnny Gaudreau wasn't one of these guys that, like Canadian players, when they go back home to their city, they go somewhere far away so fans wouldn't come up to them. The Gaudreaus was right back home. Mike Trout, when he finishes the season, he's right back home, South Jersey. These guys are normal people. And it's going to be a long time. I mean, a long time, folks, before another Johnny Gaudreau is going to walk through the doors of the NHL. He would have been an easy Hall of Famer, no doubt. He had 756 points and well on his way. Um, they'll put him in, but not right away. He wasn't like, if God forbid this happened to Connor McDavid, you know, the world would have stopped. Well, the world has stopped for Johnny Gaudreau. Good job by the Canadian media covering this. But up in Calgary, they're not really saying anything because they're still stunned that he's not with us. Now, remember, a lot of people in Calgary are ignorant, and I don't mean to call out the Calgary, good people of Calgary, but don't hold it against them because he left the Flames to go get paid, I know, of all places, Columbus, Ohio. This is not a time to nitpick. You know, we could nitpick in the future. This is all about um, two young men who haven't even truly started their lives as grown men, family men, fathers, uncles. They didn't even start that yet. Was going to be at their sister's wedding on Friday in South Philly, and this happened. My heart goes out. Hey, Braves, I'll drop the link. Pull up. My heart goes out to Mama Goudreau. That will be Ginny Goudreau, their dad Guy, their uncle Jim, their sisters, his wife Marissa. This is a tragedy that's going to last forever, folks. You can't put it no other way. Gary Bettman came out and made his statement. Bettman's not stupid. He said it in his statement about how much Johnny Goudreau changed the game. Hey, look, the NHL was boring with Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby. It just was. Okay? Yeah, I'm going to drop it. Those guys are automatic Hall of Famers, but they were boring. Once Goudreau got into the league, everything changed. And I mean everything changed. That, you want to pull up, you can. everything changed for the NHL for the better. He came up. And then Connor McDavid came up. Jack Eichel, more players. The infamous 2016 draft with Lane, Matthews, Tkachuk, uh, uh, McCarr. Those guys came into the league. It made the NHL a lot more enjoyable to watch. A lot of people didn't think the young boy can play. Oh, he can play. Oh, he can play all right. You coming up? I'll be right there. Just give me a second. All right, no one's popped up yet. All right, let me tell you how good the first round was of the NHL draft. Here you go. Matthews, Lane. Now, Pierre-Luc Dubois is a head case, so Punavi. Tkachuk, Clayton Keller, Nylander, Sermachev. Now, some of these guys are bust as I'm looking at this list. Logan Brown, a good player. Michael McLeod, a good player. Jack Bean was on the Flames. Now he was a role player. This is for you, Moss. Charlie McAvoy, superstar. You get my drift now. How top heavy the 2016 draft. And a lot of these college kids patterned their game after Johnny Grudreau. All right, Braves Ball is with us. Welcome. I'll be up here a minute, that boy. How are you, sir? I can't hear Braves Ball. All right, he putting himself on mute. That's how much talent and skill came back to the NHL. Once Johnny Gaudreau, the great drafts the Flames had back in those days, that tells you all you need to know about Johnny Gaudreau's impact in the NHL. Everybody, every American kid wanted to be an American player. They wanted to be Matt Tkachuk. They wanted to be Johnny Gaudreau, Charlie McAvoy, and the list goes on and on. It just goes on and on. And it's because of Johnny Gaudreau, and I'll say it again, nothing against Crosby and Ovechkin, but they're boring players. Malkin, boring. Look at McDavid, Drysdale, Matthews. Those guys electrify the buildings that they're in. Only Jovi was in that draft. Max Jones, but this draft quickly falls off. Tage Thompson went 26 in that draft. Trent Frederick. That draft was exactly 8 years ago. And that tells you the impact Johnny Grudreau had on the NHL. That a little American boy from Salem, New Jersey, off the Jersey Shore, electrified. If you live from I-95, Sunrise, Florida, up to Vermont, Maine, Johnny Goudreau is a household name. Johnny Hockey. That's all you gotta say. Johnny Hockey. An American kid who loved playing in the Canadian market. But you gotta remember something. If you're close knit to your family like Johnny was, after a while your family and friends are gonna get tired going up to Calgary, Alberta. It's not like it's a one-way flight from Philadelphia International to Calgary. You gotta go to Toronto, switch up. Even from New York, you gotta switch in Toronto. Everybody switches in Toronto or Montreal, depending on where you get off at. Let's see if we got Braves ball again.
Hey, can you hear me?
Crystal clear. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How are you? Hope you're having a good holiday.
You too, family. Tell us about the Goudreaus. Tell us about them.
Yeah, it's very sad for the community up here. Like pretty much everybody was talking about it, and as you know, like on TV, you're seeing it all. But being up here from where he's from, basically like a couple towns over from him. But he used to grow up and play at Hollydale, and his brother Matt still coached there. And I was actually out there yesterday to go see the memorial. Like they have sticks and flowers out front with a picture of Johnny and Matt. And it was crowded. It was very sad. I think at the time I was there, his family and friends were there, so I didn't want to go up there and bother them. But it's just a sad story. It's pretty much unimaginable, as they say. Both of them died, and it's just crazy.
Instantly.
Yeah,
And that clown who hit them really believes he didn't do anything wrong.
yeah.
I'm
I
not
saw,
kidding. I've been hearing him talk. He sounds like a moron.
yeah, I saw the video of him in court and having him being like, "Oh, I'm here till Thursday." When he heard that, he got all mad. Wait till he finds out he's there for a very long time.
And like I said earlier today, when I first started, don't let him out. Because if he comes out,
Yep.
Vinny and the boys are going to be waiting.
I thought the same thing too. I thought the same thing too. But it's hard because he's basically from where I'm from. He's basically one of us, and he's just a nice guy. For everything I heard, he's just a nice guy.
What? See, I'm a Flames fan, so I saw his career in Calgary.
Yeah,
What hits home to me from everything I'm hearing is that in South Jersey, you people don't know about South Jersey. It's like a, a shore community,
yeah,
and the people are very tight. Explain that to the audience.
yeah. We're basically like a tight community. Like you kind of know like everything that's going around in South Jersey. Because to be honest, South Jersey and North Jersey is kind of far from each other. Well, at least the part of South Jersey I'm from. And we got Mike Trout from here too. Like I know
Yo,
people
he
that
was
know Mike
devastated.
Trout.
He was the first one when Trout heard the news. He said, "Oh hell no."
Yeah, I'm sure Johnny and Mike Trout knew each other. But
Yeah,
this is just one of the things that hits home, and it's like, who knows? You said it earlier. Who knows when we're gonna get another Johnny Gaudreau? He's not only a good player, but a nice human person, a nice person, and he did stuff with the community. Like back at Hollydale, he would show up to Hollydale and just get a practice there, and then that's when kids would come and get pictures with him, and he would never deny a picture. And it's just
yeah, I saw a lot
just
of that.
crazy.
It,
It
it,
really
it,
is.
it's sickening to me because, like I said earlier, it's not like they were drunk driving and they
Yeah.
caused their deaths. I mean, from what I saw, this clown rammed into them. Like it's not a problem. Like he drove into them, like saying, "Get the f out my way."
Yeah. Apparently, there was two cars in front of him, and he passed the one. It was like a 1-lane road, and he passed the car in front of him. So now there was another car. Let's say it was a white car. There was another white
Yeah.
car in front of him, and that white car moved over for the Grudreau brothers, and he tried to pass that white car while they were moving over for the bikers, and he must have went into that lane and hit him. And he must have been flying. He must have been flying.
Yeah, they said he was.
He had to have been. And he said he had 5 to 6 beers, but who knows?
And didn't care. That is the part that
Yeah,
disturbs me.
exactly. Yes, exactly. And apparently he was in the army or something like that, and he worked
Yeah,
at like a drug and alcohol place. I
yeah.
don't. Not that that really matters. They're still not here, but it's a
Let me
shame.
ask you this. Let me ask you this. You would know this better than anybody else. I heard the Flyers,
Yep.
what they said about him. The Phillies gave him a tribute Friday night. The Cincinnati Reds, the Yankees at Yankee Stadium.
Pretty much every team.
Yeah, people don't understand. From Sunrise, Florida, the home of the Florida Panthers, to Maine, you can even throw in Montreal. This young man was a household name. I'm going to tell you how much of an impact he was.
Yeah.
Remember when Manziel came out? It was Johnny Football this, Johnny
Yeah.
Football that.
Yeah.
When Grudreau came up, I forgot my man's name. He's on the NHL network. And he gave him the name Johnny Hockey. And it took off instantly because Grudreau was putting up numbers.
Yep. Johnny Hockey. It's what I still call him.
While uh, Manziel was a bust, a total bust. And like I said to people, Goudreau's impact, and I want you to tell the people this, Goudreau's impact was felt all over America. Go ahead, explain that to people.
Well, I think it's because he was also not the tallest. He was like 5'9", and a lot of people doubted him because he was so short. I think that was also like a big impact too. And one, he was top player of college. He scored like, I think he had like 44 goals or something his freshman year, something
Yeah,
like that
Boston
at
College, yeah.
Boston College. I think he just took off instantly from the point he got to the NHL. And he
I was,
wasn't the highest draft pick. He was like an underdog, pretty much.
yeah, fourth rounder.
Yeah,
Gordon
but
Miller was telling the story on TSN over the weekend that when they saw Goudreau play in the World Juniors, people like Canadian scouts was pissed off. They said, "This little guy is who you've been talking about." And then when they saw him turn up the tournament, they were like, "Hey." He also opened the door for the smaller hockey player.
yeah, he did because any people can play hockey at any size, and it's hard to be out there when you're small and you're up there against when they're on skates. They could be 6'3" without skates, and when they're on skates, they're like 6'5". So you can imagine how intimidating that would be, and it didn't stop Johnny Hockey or his brother Matt. His brother Matt was same size too, and yeah. But you talk about you bring up the Flyers and the
Yeah,
Phillies. I think the Phillies did a nice thing when they had him up on the Megatron. I don't know what the right word to use it, but you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Up on the screen.
Megatron, Jumbotron,
I
same.
think that was a nice. I think that was a nice thing they did too. And the Flyers come out with a statement. But you bring up the Flyers, and earlier you brought up how when he left Calgary, he went to Columbus, and you said of all places, Columbus.
I'm
Well,
serious about that.
I'm gonna talk about that for a second. Um, he went to Columbus because he actually left Calgary not just because of the money, but he wanted to come back home and play for the Flyers. That was the main reason why he left there. And I remember hearing from people I know and people I watch that knew
Hmm.
Johnny were like, "Oh, he's close to getting a deal done with Philly. He wants to come back home. He wants to play for the Flyers." So I think that's mainly the reason why he left Calgary, and he wanted to be closer to home. So that's why he ended up in Columbus. He wanted to be closer to home. The reason why he didn't get a deal done with the Flyers is because at the time our management sucked. But now we have Danny Briere and Keith Jones running it, which I wonder if we had them back then, if Johnny would have been a Flyer. But it's a shame that he didn't become a Flyer because we would have loved that, and it would have been very good.
I can. Well, he flourished under Daryl Sutter, so he can flourish over. He can flourish with Tortorella.
Yeah, Tortorella, Torts. I
You
like.
down there? Let me ask you this question: what the hell is going on in Philadelphia?
No, I think we got something good going on. We got Mitch Cobb over now, which is very cool. A lot of excitement going on from the Flyers fans in Philadelphia about that. And I think Tortorella's a good coach. I mean,
I
last
like
year
it.
we last year we were supposed to not be good. We were one game away from making the playoffs. I mean, we folded. We sold. It was very bad. That stretch of like we lost like 8 games straight. All we had to do was win one more game, but it came down to the last game against the Capitals, and Ovechkin got it in. But I think this year will be different. We got Mitch Cobb, but I'll tell you though,
Hmm.
when Cutter Gauthier comes into Philadelphia, it ain't gonna be good.
How excited are you about the Russian coming?
I'm I'm excited to see what he. All I hear is he's the next big thing. He's the next big thing, but he's got to show us. But I'm very excited for him. I think he could be the next big thing. And actually, I saw a picture today of him in Philadelphia on Twitter. But we're
I
excited for him.
I live in the New York metro area, and no, I don't like none of the New York Jersey Devils. But I
Yeah, I
can
don't like
tell
them
you
either.
this. I can tell you this. The NHL is 100,000% better when the Broad Street Bullies are relevant again. And I mean that with my heart.
Yeah,
No, I really mean this. I grew up when the Flyers won their Stanley Cups. I saw them with Bobby Clark, Reggie Leach, and those guys.
yeah.
That was a special group of champions, man. And I still can't believe they gave it away. I know you're so young. I still can't believe they gave it away to the Islanders eventually. I'm dead serious. Philadelphia, we need Philadelphia back. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, it
We,
seems to be
yeah, go
leagues are
ahead.
better when the seems to be the leagues are better when the Philadelphia teams are good, like the Phillies. I mean, you can see during October that place is rocking. That place is rocking in October during the playoffs. And with the Eagles, I know we sold last year, but it looks like they're gonna be good this year. They got Saquon Barkley.
I got them. I got them winning the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah,
Eagles.
they got a very good shot. Very good shot.
I like
And
what they do. Howie Roseman's the best in the business of what he does.
it's tough for you to say that. A lot of people here don't. Well, I shouldn't say. A couple years ago, we didn't like him. He still gets his criticism, but I might have been one of those people that wanted Howie
I
gone.
feel you, bro. I feel you. So I tell people on my panel all the time how rough of a city, especially when it comes to sports, Philadelphia is. See, I'm from New York, but my sports fandom attitude is definitely like Philadelphia's.
Yeah.
Every time I go down there,
Well,
I feel
New
at
York's
home.
a tough place too to play in.
Not like it used to be, man. And New York has gone soft. They got more people want to be at the nightclubs and the gyms,
Right.
and but the one team they do love is the Knicks, man.
Hey, the Knicks look good. I mean, they beat the Sixers in the playoffs, but that ain't hard.
Let me ask you
I'll,
this:
I'll tell you those Sixers.
what has happened to the Philadelphia sports fan that they let the Knicks fan, the 49er fan, go
Yep.
to their buildings
Yep.
and punk them like that? I was shocked.
I was at the 49ers game when they played them in Philadelphia. I mean, what are these 49ers fans doing here? And then they're chanting outside of the stadium when the game is over. Like it's a joke. And then the Knicks fans having more fans than we did pretty much. It's honestly with the Sixers, it comes down to the owner. The owner stinks. He owns like too many teams. Is the problem. He owns the Devils. I think he owns a football team now too. It's whatever.
They
But
miss, they miss Ed Snyder badly down there.
yeah, he would be ashamed. But I think now they're under a good leadership with Danny Briere. I
Do
mean, they
you
got
like the Phillies owner?
John Middleton.
Yeah.
I think he's a good owner.
Okay.
But
Back to
there's,
Briere. You think he can do? You think he can bring?
I think he wants, yes, he really wants to bring the championship back. But with the Phillies, they
Yeah.
won last night. But I mean, I think they since they won that series against the Braves that don't play them again, I think they pretty much won the division. With
Seven with
New,
the Mets coming up though.
yeah, but Mace, I'll tell you though, the way they've been playing, for this Braves series, we were not happy over here. We were not happy. I mean, I'm still gonna say it. I don't think we do anything in the playoffs unless they pick it up this month of September. I don't see them going far in the playoffs if they're gonna play this way.
They got to
The
beat the
bats,
Mets sometimes. They got to
they,
beat the Mets
they have
sometimes.
to beat the Mets. I looked
They
at the
have to
wild
beat
card
them.
today. They could match up with the Mets in the
In the
wild
in the
card.
wild card, yeah, because the Brewers are good, bro.
Brewers, yeah,
I look at the Phillies since we're going there now, and I don't mind talking Philadelphia sports. Uh, I like them a lot. I picked them to win the World Series this year. A lot of people thought I
yep,
was crazy. I think Philly is the best team in the league, player for player. I do believe that because the chemistry on the Phillies is perfect. They're a
I agree.
bunch of gamers, and Harper, and I get killed for this. My life on the line. I want Harper in my at bat for me.
Me too. There's
You know
nobody
what I
else I'd
mean?
want off the bat.
There
He's
you
probably the
go.
most clutchest person. Probably the much. Oh my bad. Probably the
No,
most
go ahead.
clutchest person. Probably the most clutchest person player in the MLB is Bryce Harper. There's nobody
I
else I'd
didn't
want off
like
the bat for the
Harper.
Phillies.
I didn't like Harper at first. I thought he was a showboat. And Mike
Yeah,
Trout came at the same time, and Mike Trout exploded on the scene. Plus, Mike Trout is from your neck of the woods, so I could follow him
yeah.
close and play for my team. Isn't it funny? Grudreau played for my team. Trout played for my
Mike Trout's a
team.
little bit further. Mike Trout's from Millville, and that's a little bit further than I am. But Johnny Gaudreau, he was really close to me. He was
Yeah,
probably
you
like he
guys
lived in.
down there live life the right way.
Yeah, we
That's
just
me
like to play our
personally saying
sport.
that to you guys. Yeah, because you get all these out of towners expect to be catered to in your guys' neck of the woods, further up on the shore.
Yeah.
I know you guys don't want to deal with that shit. You know, Philadelphia, South Jersey, you eating delis, you eating diners. That's the way it should be. Yeah, I'm being honest. I've been down the Delaware Valley many times. I know how you guys down there think. I know how rabid you are of your sports teams down there. That's why I love you guys. I say it all the time, bro. Philadelphia is the best sports city in America. I get a lot of pushback. I do believe that. Boston's close, but I'm not going to Boston anytime soon. You should know the reason. Talking
Mace,
to,
I just want to ask you one thing.
yeah, go
So
ahead.
you said you're a Flames fan, right?
Yeah,
So I saw like all the like, fans going there and stuff and leaving stuff outside. But
yeah.
what you said they're not talking about it that much in Calgary. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean they're not talking about it much? What else could they be
They
talking about?
are
I feel like
shell,
Calgary's only hockey.
they are shell shocked that they lost Johnny Grudreau.
I was
You
too. I
know, you
remember.
know what? I'll tell you another sport is like. I'll use the 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 Phillies. That'll be like Bryce Harper never coming back
Yeah.
because of tragedy. That's how they are in Calgary right now. They just don't talk about it. The things are coming out that in the new arena, which will be up in 3 years, they're gonna make a statue of him, retire his number. I think they will elaborate more on it once training camp opens in 2 weeks. Then they'll go all in. But they are so shocked that that this happened to him.
I was
I mean,
shocked when I remember where I was. It was 7:30 in the morning. I was getting ready to go to school. Well, I'm in college, so I was getting ready to go to college.
hmm
And my friend texted me, said, "Bro," I'm like, "What's 7:30 in the morning? What's he texting me about?" And said, "Johnny Gaudreau died." I was like, "No way!" Like, and even when I see videos now of like, oh, tribute to Johnny, and like it'll be like an edit or something. It's like I'm looking at him. It's like no way he's not here. Like he's just not here. It's still shocking. And they died
devastated.
Thursday night, and it's Monday afternoon. We still can't believe it.
I am not going to lie to you. If I was not a Flames fan, I wouldn't go all out of Johnny Gaudreau, but because I'm a diehard Flame fan and I watched this about every game he ever played in Calgary, I didn't waste my time with him in Columbus.
Yeah,
I had to do this because people don't understand the impact.
yeah, they really don't.
I mean, this guy.
I
Hey,
think
look,
some do. I think a lot of people do. I shouldn't say yeah they really don't. I think a lot of people do realize his impact, and you really realize it after this happened. I mean, it's so sad to say, but yeah,
I mean, the NHL. This was death blow for the NHL because Grudreau was right up there with McDavid, Draisaitl, all those guys who came in after him. The city of Boston is crippled with the death of the Grudreau brothers. The coach said of Boston College, his college coach said, I still don't want to believe it. I'm in denial. And that's Boston, folks, which is not easy to crack their shell. Like I said, I'll say it again. On the I-95 corridor from Sunrise, Florida, the home of the Panthers, and to Vermont and Maine, to Montreal, Quebec, to Toronto, Ontario. This man was a household
he's a franchise player, and now they've not only
name.
did Columbus, not only did Columbus lose their star player, his family lost him. They lost a husband, a son, an uncle, a
Yep,
nephew.
that's what their Uncle Jim said.
Uh, Forget about the sport part of it. He was somebody lost a family member, and not only one, they lost two.
Yeah, Meredith, his wife, my prayers go to them. He just had Johnny Jr. earlier this year. Um, Maddie was expecting his first daughter in
Yeah,
December. Folks, like my brother just said, this is an American tragedy what happened Thursday night, folks. They're back home because their sister was
yeah.
getting married on Friday.
It makes it even worse.
I mean, sometimes, folks, you got to think of the human aspect of things. And I know Braves Bull had to bring me back, but no, I knew, like I said, his mom, Jenny, father, Dee, the people uh in South Jersey who loved him, who followed him, Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? This man was a household name, Johnny Hockey. And I can tell you right now, folks, no one electrified arenas more than Johnny Gaudreau.
I think they should retire his number. What do you
They are
think,
going to
Jake?
do that in Calgary. They're going to retire his number, and when the new arena opens in 27, they're going to put a statue of him there.
That's nice.
Yeah, the Flames are going to do a lot for him. The people just no tomorrow. Everybody's back at work in North
Yeah,
America. They will begin to elaborate out in Calgary tomorrow. It is a shock to everybody involved. I mean, you got to think of his family first, no question. And he was a family guy, by the way, people.
yeah, he was.
I mean, family to him was everything. That's why he went back east. You're gonna laugh what I'm about to say.
It's just
Again,
crazy. I
why Columbus?
well, closest thing to home, I guess. Like, he probably didn't want to play for the Devils. Probably didn't want to play for the Rangers. I don't blame him playing for the Rangers. We hate the Rangers out here.
I heard the Devils was willing to open up the purse for him.
I
I
still
trust
can't.
you.
I still can't believe, and I'm still mad
No,
the Flyers did not sign him.
I
I
heard they
mean,
were
he's the
cheap.
best. Oh my God, dude! You could have
I
Johnny
heard they was
Gaudreau
holding the
skating up
purse
the ice.
close.
Oh my God, defenders fear him. The defenders fear him because he's so fast, so good.
I'm
And
gonna do a show right before the hockey season. I'd love you to come up and be my guest.
all right,
Philadelphia, Philadelphia, where are you? It's been too damn long
it has.
that the Philadelphia Flyers, folks, since 2010, and I thought they were gonna beat the Blackhawks that year. I really did. No, I'm serious. The
I remember
NHL
that.
the Flyers are everything to the NHL folks. They brought a lot to the table, from Mike Keenan, Fred Shiro. Who did they have the coach when they had Lindros?
When they had Lindros, I don't remember the coach. I wasn't even around then, but
Oh, he wasn't alive then.
no,
Okay.
I don't
When
even.
they had the Legion of Doom line.
I remember. I've heard stories about Eric Lindros, though. You know, how good he was of a player. And when they traded for him, he was like the next big thing, kind of like how Mitchkov's supposed to be the next big thing. But people still can't believe they never won with Eric Lindros.
You know, Ed Snyder, true story. He fired his son at the draft table because the trade. No, it's true story. He fired his son at the draft table because the deal was fine.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fired. I always loved Ed Snyder. I always did. I
Yeah,
respected
we
him.
still he still gets his tributes here.
He is no nonsense. He's the type of owner, and he was perfect for Philadelphia. He really was. He knew the people's temperament. He knew how much the great people down there love their sports teams down there. And I tell people all this. I tell people this all the time, brother. And they give me major pushback. I'm like, bro, why don't you come out here? No, no, no. I don't want to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, come over here, listen to WIP and all. You'll know it all. Sports radio. It's
And
crazy.
Smokey and Vinny and the boys still talking about women at 6 a.m. No, I'm serious with that question. They're still talking about women at 6 o'clock in the morning.
So can you say that again?
Is Tony, Vinny, and those guys at 6 a.m. still talking about women early in the morning? Because
I
that's
don't.
what they used to
It
do.
was. I don't. No, I don't think so.
Now they back to pure
Well,
sports at 6 a.m.
I don't listen to Tony and Vinny. I don't. Honestly, I only listen to WIP to be for real. And sometimes I'll
They
turn
used
on
to be on
97.
IP.
Well, no, they got rid of Angelo retired. They didn't get rid of him, but
Yeah, they got
Angelo
rid of
Cataldi.
Angelo.
No, they didn't get rid of him. Angelo Cataldi retired. So
Okay.
now it's Joe DeCamera and John Ritchie. That's
And
6
my
a.m. to
boy
10.
John Ritchie, the former fullback of the
Yep.
Raiders,
Yeah.
and he went to the Eagles and forged a nice career for himself. Uh, my boy Howard Erskine still on the sideline.
Howard Eskin. Yeah, he's still there.
I go back with
They actually
Erskine, believe it or not, since 1986. True
they
story.
they have his son Spike on there at 2 o'clock now. Yeah.
Folks, if you don't know, Howard Eskin is the sports guy in Philadelphia. And you want to know the pulse of Philadelphia with him. I go way back with him since the mid '80s because we're about the same age. So back in those days, you would go to certain cities, chill with the sports guys. It ain't like now where these guys are making so much money to act like they don't
Yeah.
know. But
All right.
back in those days, if you knew what they was talking about, you was part of the sports club with the guys talking bullshit. Okay. Philadelphia, the second you get off the highway to get into the city, fireworks is coming your way.
Yeah. Funny.
It's the type of place, folks, that as long as you don't root for New York or Boston
Yep.
or Baltimore, you're okay.
Yeah. My username is not for the Atlanta Braves. It was just a high school name.
No, no, no. I got you. You're a big Phillies
Yeah.
fan. That's
No,
cool.
no, but I get that all the time. They'll think I'm Braves fan. No, I hate the Braves. I hate the Braves.
I cannot stand Embiid.
No.
I know they got PG-13, and I'm not a Knicks fan. I don't like no New York teams, brother. I don't. I'll criticize the New York team like nothing. I cannot stand the Mets or the Yankees. So I'm just saying it straight. I'm gonna pick the Knicks to go to the finals.
You got the Knicks going in the finals.
Yeah. You know what?
I mean, Mikal Bridges.
The Philadelphia connection is so strong on that. The Villanova connection is so strong
Yep.
on that team, bro. That these players, I'm talking about Josh Hart, Brunson, who's the biggest star in New York in years, uh, Vincenzo, and Bridges, they don't even live here, bro. They hop in their giant Hummer and go home to South Philly. I'm not joking.
I actually go to school right near Villanova. I'm like a minute away.
Yeah,
But Mikal Bridges is such a good player, and Sixers drafted him from here, and
I
then we
remember
traded
that
him the
trade.
same day. Like, what are you doing?
I remember
Everybody,
that trade.
oh, I couldn't believe it because I wanted Mikal Bridges so badly. From here, went to Villanova, all of that, and they still. And now look at them. They got rid of. I don't remember. I don't remember who they traded him for, but it was some guy that didn't do nothing. But I don't know. The Knicks will be good, but Sixers did get Paul George, but I don't know if it solves them getting out of the second round.
I
Like
totally agree.
Tyrese Maxey he needed the step he needed to take, and he took it. But I don't know. I'm just
You
happy
know,
they got rid of Tobias Harris because Tobias Harris sucks.
they got rid of everybody. They gave the money to the right player. They gave
But
it to Maxi.
where they really screwed up was when they got rid of Jimmy Butler and keeping Tobias Harris
Because he was too tough on Embiid and that little coward of a basketball player.
and Simmons.
There you go. He was my whipping boy up there 3 years ago. You will love it.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benjamin. Yeah. Hey, one
Yeah,
more thing, and I'll let you go.
Nah.
Back to Johnny Grudreau. Uh, you tell the people down there that Lake Taggart uh, gives his deepest heart, my deepest heart to everybody down there. Like I always say, I love the people down there, the great people. Philadelphia is the best sports city in America. And even though he never put on a flag, he lost a great, great one. Not only on the ice, but more importantly, off the ice. As a father, as a soon-to-be uncle, as a brother, because Johnny had
Yeah.
4 sisters. And as a him and his brother, fine young men. And it will take me forever. I got to like see the family on my heart goes out to and that's his their parents. God bless them.
what did
Yeah.
Johnny
God
die
bless
of?
them.
Johnny was in a hit and run bicycling accident. Him and his brother was killed instantly.
No, it wasn't a
What's
hit and
sad
run.
is he's so young. He's only
The guy
27,
stayed.
right? He's like
31.
27.
31. 31. Go ahead, Bray. Go ahead.
I just want to say one more thing, and then I'll get out of here.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
yeah, it's very sad that Johnny and Maddie aren't here no more. And I deepest respects to their family, and we pray for them every day.
Yes, I do.
And hopefully everything will turn out okay. But thank you, Mace. I'll be back on here again.
I'm
So
gonna do the show. Pull up. I'm gonna do the show is again about the Flyers. What the hell has happened to Philadelphia Flyers?
we'll be okay. I promise.
I
We'll be
appreciate you,
okay.
man. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mace.
You got it, man. Enjoy your week.
You too. Have a good holiday.
You too, family. Braves Ball 8. One of my D1s, believe it or not. He was up here every day in the early days of this platform. When Manzano gets ready, we'll switch the topic. Uh,
I'm ready. No, I'm a hockey fan too. Like, are they hometown kids from Philly? Johnny
yeah,
and
yeah.
uh, what high school did they go to the same high school that uh uh what's it Kobe went to?
No, Kobe is in the suburbs, man. This is where they're from. Is from the Jersey Shore. It's more of a tourist attraction. Rich people go down there and basically act entitled to the everyday people that live and work. It's like a beach. There's a group of beach towns, Tony. That's where
Oh,
this.
so they're from Jersey, not Philly.
No, no, but it's right next door. It's
Okay. I
like
wasn't sure.
most of the Philadelphia Flyer players live in South Jersey.
Honestly, yeah. Like I said, what's so bad is just they're on the they're only Johnny was a great. Well, people don't forget Johnny was underrated in his defense. Like you agree,
Tony,
he was a good defender. It's
Tony,
just that
no one cares about his defense, bro. What made Johnny Grudreau special was he electrified the audiences around the NHL. When
no
you are
no
electrifying, that's all that matters.
yeah no but what I'm saying is his offense overshadowed it so much that people forget he was a great defender. He played well on both sides of the ice and stuff like that. That's what I was saying. Like it's like Matty, him and Matty have this issue where their offense is so great that their defense gets overshadowed and stuff like
Well,
that. That's what,
unfortunately, Matty never made the NHL. He was coaching with his father.
oh
That-
no. I'm talking about his team. No, uh, uh Matt Kachuk actually put out a statement
I haven't seen it,
recently.
but I saw the pictures he put out there once everyone. I didn't find out till 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. My mother was staying here for the weekend, and she loves TMZ, and they said two hockey stars were killed. And like at first, I didn't see the uniform; it was blue, and I popped in my head was Matthews. But when I saw the Columbus number, because Columbus Blue Jackets only have their style of numbers, beautiful jersey, by the way. I put two and two together. I said, oh shit. And I've been in the fog ever since. I'm not gonna lie to you people. One of the reasons why you see me, like, you're not gonna see me today. You'll see me from now on though. Matt didn't make. Oh, did he? He made the league for 5 years at Braves ball. I appreciate you. My bad. I appreciate you. So Matty Goudreau played in the league for 5 years. Now that's my fault, folks, because I'm only focused on his brother. I didn't even know he had a brother, to be honest with you, until this tragedy happened. I'm not lying. I didn't know he had a brother. I knew he had sisters.
Yeah, Matty was one of these Matt Goudreau was like a journeyman hockey player. He went he bounced around a few teams his whole career. I can't remember who drafted him and stuff or who signed him as a free agent or whatever. Uh, but he started his career out up north. I think it was Boston or something like that. Then he came down. He played a little bit with Tampa and a little bit with Florida and stuff like that. Then he went. The last team he played for was like I think it was
What a
Minnesota.
beautiful, what a beautiful wife, by the way.
Yeah,
What a beautiful wife. And they're about to have their first. They're about to have their only child, unfortunately. Oh,
the sad
I
thing is
can't
he's so
say.
young.
Yeah, folks. Forgive me what I'm about to say, but I am Johnny Goudreau out because I've been watching nothing but tributes on TSN Canada all weekend about Johnny Goudreau. And like I said to begin the platform today, Johnny Goudreau, if I had to compare him to another athlete and making an impact, you want to say Bryce Harper? He was the first NHL player in eons. And I'll say it again. Nothing against Sidney Crosby, Malkin, Ovechkin. Those are boring players. They are.
Why do you say that?
Because they don't really, like, how can I
They
say
make it
this?
look easy. They make it look too easy.
No, I'll do one better. All right. When you look at Goudreau, you're looking at something special. When you look at McDavid, you're looking at something special. When you're looking at McKinnon, you're looking at something special. When you look at Sidney Crosby, he's played out, man. What is this, year 20 for Sidney Kid?
Yeah.
Retire already, bro.
You're getting tired of Ov, Sid, and Malkin. Like,
No,
you guys been in.
no. Ovi's going for an all-time record. And with the way the Capitals loaded up, folks, he may break the record this year. I'm not joking. The Capitals are loaded from top to bottom. Now, this is the same Capitals team. You hear me say this right now. They will not get past the second round of playoffs. Bet me on it. Anybody, bet me on it.
Yeah, they're not going to beat Florida.
They are the Edmonton Oilers of the East. When you look up and down the roster of the Washington Capitals, they're going to, I can say it to you right now, folks, they'll be on national TV more than anybody else.
You think they're going to be do you think they're going to be one of the teams that win the President's Trophy?
No. You know why? They don't
Why?
play defense. They don't play defense.
That's what hurt, honestly. That hurt. I said this. That's what hurt Edmonton in the long run. They couldn't play any defense. When you can't stop Florida from scoring,
I don't know,
you
Tony.
score.
Game 4, 5, 6, and 7. Edmonton was playing some defense.
It took them this long into the but what I do you understand what I'm saying? It took them finally till the end of the Stanley Cup to finally know how to play defense.
God damn! And he had the worst year of his career last year. Hey, folks, Ovechkin's going to break Gretzky's record this year. He is exactly 40 goals away. You see what happens, folks? This is what I'm talking about. Alex Ovechkin, we forget about him because all he could do is score goals. And that's
he's one-dimensional.
Yeah, that's no knock on Alex. That's why he's going to go down as the greatest goal scorer. He's going to break Gretzky this year. He's 40 goals away. He's going to break that. I will say it now. With the talent that team has right now that they brought in, he should break that by early March. I'm not joking, folks. He's going to break Gretzky this year.
And I've said this, Uncle. Yeah, to me, what is it called? The Capitals, to me, the past 2 years have been one of the best teams in the draft. Like, in terms of what they've gotten, they've gotten basically a guy who will probably replace that young Russian kid that they drafted. Is probably going to replace Ovi when he retires and stuff like that. The young goal scorer from Russia and stuff like that. They've drafted 2 defensemen and stuff like that.
Hockey starts in 2 weeks, folks. Training camp opens in 2 weeks from Wednesday. So get ready for the NHL to come back.
See, and I've said this multiple times, Uncle. I like the entertainment factor of guys like Ovi and McDavid. Sid the Kid. Okay. McDavid. But if I would build a team, I would rather build it around a guy like Barkov who's great in both sides of the ice and stuff like that. As a hockey, if you're a GM, would you rather build a team around a guy who's great on both sides of the ice or one-dimensional like a McDavid who's a great scorer and
phenomenal skater. McDavid plays both sides of the ice. McDavid, if it wasn't for McDavid, I can tell you now, guys like David Pastrnak of the Bruins, people
would get more pub.
Yeah, people don't understand what Johnny Grudreau did for the game of hockey. He revolutionized the game, folks.
He was
And
on the
more
best.
and
Well,
more
people,
young American kids wanted to be like Johnny Grudreau.
yeah, no, and what people forget, he, him, Matthews, and what's his name? The other forward. There was they came out all around the same time. Him,
Dre Paul
Matthew.
is cracking up. He's cracking up in the chat. I'm just telling the truth, man. After a while, Sid the Kid, let them worship his ass up in Canada, which they do. He is boring. Malkin, boring. Ovechkin. Now this year, everybody's gonna be doing the talking about McDavid. You taking McDavid? So am I. Hell yeah.
No, but you like if McDavid and McDavid can play both sides of the ice. I meant to say Drysidle.
Well,
Drysidle.
let me ask you a question. Would you rather have, and these were the two picks back in 2015 draft.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Connor McDavid or would you rather have Jack Eichel? And then
Honestly,
I'm going to bring up, and then I'm
McDavid.
going to bring up
McDavid.
something after that. You rather have
Honestly, if I
McDavid?
was Buffalo, I would have chosen. Uh,
No, Buffalo had the number two pick. They had to take Eichel.
yeah, no. Honestly, I would have chosen McDavid. In my honest, if I was in that draft and I was number one, McDavid would be the pick every day on Sunday.
Yeah,
But do you understand where I'm coming from? With
I know where you're coming
it's
from. Yeah,
yeah. If as a talent wise, guys like McDavid and Barkov are rare because if you're a scorer, you never play defense. And if you were a great defensive player, you weren't really known for your scoring. So guys like McDavid and Barkov are rare. Do you agree?
yeah, but Barkov is more of a defensive player, and uh, a lot of people will take. I hate to tell you this, Manzana. Most people will take McDavid over Barkov. Barkov, give him all the credit in the world. He's a hell of a player. Look at this. This is the Connor McDavid draft, folks. Number one, McDavid. Number two, Eichel. Number three, Dylan Strome. I know a lot of you never heard of him, but he's a real good player. Mitch Marner after that. That was the first four picks.
Was Marner
No,
before or after Matthews?
who?
Was Mitch Marner drafted before or after Matthews?
Before. This
Okay.
is the 2015 draft.
Okay.
20, Miko Runner-Stenning, Dennis Gulizov, Jacob Chaboni, he's a bust. Jake DeBrusk is a hell of a player. And these guys are lower in the first down. Marty Brizell. Now, let me tell you something about Martin Brizell. When he first came up, he had the long hair. He was a scoring machine. He won Rookie of the Year. It wasn't McDavid. It was Marty Brizell of the Islanders. What pick was he? 16. Because back then, the Islanders were a running gun team, folks. They were must-see TV. See, when you're must-see TV, people are going to prop you up. Long Island loves Marty Brizell. They love him. But once Lou Lamoriello came, his hair was
He
cut.
wanted to play both sides of the ice.
He made them play both sides of the ice. Patrick Rock got those kids going, though, out in Long Island.
Well, wait, what? I can't remember. Was Torts up in Long Island? Did he
No,
coach?
Rangers. Rangers.
I can't remember. There was a coach. They fired him because his style started to grate on the players up there in Long Island. My God, what's
That
his
was,
name?
that was probably Peter Laviolette, who should have never been fired.
Yeah, I like Peter. I don't know why people hate him so much.
Because he's a regular dude. He's a guy from Boston. He loves hockey, lives, dies hockey. And when you get people who like him, that doesn't really fit the culture. You get it? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you want to talk about the NFL, I'll give you two quarterbacks right now who are totally different. Jordan Love and old boy down in Houston, C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud is the type of guy he's invited to all the parties. Jordan Love, on the other hand, is your ass
A
better
gym
be at
rat.
your ass better be at the 40-yard line because by the time you break away, the ball is going to be there. You better catch it. That's
Yeah,
the
no,
difference
no,
between you guys.
yeah, no, and like I said, Jordan Love's mentality is kind of
And
like a
right.
young Aaron, yeah, like a young Aaron Rodgers before Aaron got all that money.
I'm gonna
Aaron
talk
was,
about Aaron Rodgers later tonight. By the way, I'm gonna do a show tonight, Tony. I'm not leaving yet. I'm gonna do a show tonight. I'm gonna let all you guys come up and talk whatever you want to talk about. All you guys that summer's over, baby. We got the big game Friday night. I'll be up here doing it on Peacock. Love versus Jalen Hurts. It's time now, folks. The
what I
NFL
was
is
gonna
here.
ask, what
Yeah,
what
good.
what what I was gonna ask you. Do you think Johnny gets overshadowed because of the other guys that came after him, like a McDavid or Matthews and stuff like that?
The way they're treating them up in Canada, I think the Canadian media has gave him his justice, bro.
No, the American media. I'm saying hockey media.
No, no, me and Braves Ball was talking about this Friday night. Yankee Stadium tribute. Put them on the jumbotron. Philadelphia players were crying. Cincinnati players were crying. Arizona. You see, Tony, what you're missing is Grudreau was a household name. It took Connor McDavid to the playoffs this year for people in the United States to know him. Think about what I just said to you. Everybody
It
in
took
America knew who Johnny Hockey was.
Yeah, no, and the what I meant to say is Canada specifically until now, because where he played his career, I don't think people respected Johnny enough in
I totally,
Canada.
I totally disagree with you, bro. If they didn't respect them, they wouldn't be giving them all the tributes they've been doing up there all weekend. Thank you, Braves Ball. Yes, Johnny Gaudreau became Johnny. I'm gonna tell you, me and Braves Ball talked about this earlier. This is what happened. Johnny Manziel came out and he made a complete ass out of himself at the draft. And
Hmm.
that gave the NFL a black eye. Johnny Gaudreau comes up, and I forgot the guy on NHL Network. He nicknamed him Johnny Hockey. That caught on everywhere.
Oh, you know who gave him that nickname? It was actually Craig Button.
Well, it went viral.
Hmm.
People watch this highlights late at night. Are you kidding me? I'm going to say it to you one more time. It took to this year for America to get to know who Connor McDavid is.
Because Johnny Hockey dominated.
Because Johnny Hockey was an American. America likes their own, Tony. Why do you think Matthew Tkachuk is a hero in America, especially he's from St. Louis?
Oh, uh, do you think do you think the American hockey fans actually are behind Austin Matthews too?
Not really, until he leaves.
Why do you laugh? Why are you laughing? Why do you say until
This
he
is
leaves?
true because Austin Matthews has no personality, bro, whatsoever. It's like Sidney
He's a
Crosby,
no,
a
no,
Danny
no,
Malkin.
no. And to me, I we talked about
I
this.
see baseball.
Austin Matthews is kind of like his personality is kind of like an Aaron Rodgers, kind of like
No,
Aaron.
he's like an airhead, bro.
Aaron?
No, Austin Matthews.
Oh no! My mistake. I can't remember who comparison. Like in football, who would you compare Austin Matthews to in the NFL?
No personality.
Like
Probably
where he
Jordan.
focuses mainly on like he's just going to he goes to the
No.
IC.
Austin loves the nightlife. That's why his last year of his contract next year. I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now, folks. In 2026, the summer of 2026, both Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid will be in new places in America.
Honest, I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna make a bold prediction. He ends up in Vegas. Austin Matthews.
Nah, he'll go to Utah.
You think so?
Young white guys that are rich. No offense, Braves ball, who are rich. Salt Lake City is a playground for those guys.
Oh no! The reason why I say you brought up he likes
Vegas,
the nightlife.
Vegas too, but when the Coyotes went to Salt Lake, he gave them the big thumbs up.
When you look at McDavid, would he be a big like would he fit with the Ranger like any of the New York teams?
I don't know, but I'll tell you a team I would put close to the top of the list is the Maple Leafs. He would go back home
To
because he's
Toronto?
tight. Yeah, he is tight with his grandmother.
Oh,
And
or
he
you know
loves,
what he could do? He can do what honestly, not being traded, but he can do what he can follow the same path that what's his name? Gretzky did. Go to LA.
I don't see Connor in LA, believe it or not.
You don't see him as a LA
No,
type of guy?
no. I see Connor Toronto,
Philadelphia.
Dallas, Philly. Yeah, I could see Connor going to Philly. And
The,
Braves ball. Your ownership, Danny Briere will open up the goddamn purse. I think Connor McDavid will be on the open market, and Edmonton's
well,
going to do it again, folks, because
yeah.
Leon Draisaitl
Once Crosby and Malkin. How about him in Pittsburgh?
will never go to Pittsburgh. He'll never.
Personality, personality wise, do you think a place like Vegas fits McDavid?
Yeah, but remember, he just got married a couple of weeks ago. And I don't see his wife wanting him to play in Vegas. Johnny had instant. Matter of fact, baseball. When Johnny Grudreau hit it big in 2014, he was on all the night shows. Jimmy Kimmel or whoever, Jimmy Fallon. He was on all the night shows.
Yeah, he was on. I saw him a couple of times before he retired. He was always on Craig Ferguson all the time.
You know why they like him so much? Because
Personality.
he's a good dude, bro. You know, and for Brian Burke to come out and said he's the top 3 American player ever, saying a lot. But he would have made the Hall of Fame, folks. He already had 756 points. He would easily got 250 points in 2 years. He would have went for that.
Do
He
you
would
think a guy
easily
like
got it.
and by chance with Johnny specifically, do you think it hurt that the last two franchises basically were like when he was in Montreal, they were basically in the
Never
middle
played
of a
in-
rebuild.
Johnny never played in Montreal.
Or Calgary. My mistake.
No,
Calgary.
Calgary was good when he got there. When he got there, they started hitting the draft picks, and away they went.
But the ownership was idiotic when they traded both him and
They didn't.
Maddie.
They traded to Chuck because he didn't want to be there. He's
Was
your
Grudreau
typical
pissed?
American. And you didn't notice in this year's draft, with the Flames got an A+.
Mm-hmm.
They're not drafting American players.
They're sticking with either European or Canadian.
All Canadian. That's why I'll be watching the Ontario Hockey League this year more than NHL.
Yeah, no. Do you think honestly that's what hurts certain teams, that they focus drafting within their own country?
I think what hurts the Canadian teams is that players rather make their American money and live the nightlife than stay in the Canadian market. Like Brady Chuck, it's going to be a crossroads for Ottawa, folks. Ottawa, Detroit, and there's one more. No excuses this year. Buffalo. No excuses.
I can honestly, I can see Brady ending up in Dallas.
Brady Chuck.
Or maybe ending up with his brother.
I don't think the Panthers have enough to trade for him.
No.
Go back to the team again. Salt Lake.
Him and Matthews on the same team. That's scary.
Salt Lake, folks, that is the new destination to these hockey free agents, and the reason's obvious.
Oh no, and the funniest story that I what is it called that you were saying is Maddie and Keith wanted his Brady to stay and party with them. What did you say?
He won the cup? Yeah, when they won the cup, his father, Mrs. Keith Shuck, and his brother wanted Brady to stay and party with them. And he said, hell no, I got to get my shit together in Ottawa, bro. I'm telling you right now, folks, this summer, we may have the biggest blockbuster in the NHL in a long time with Brady Chuck. Everybody's watching that Ottawa situation. Because if they don't make the playoffs, he's getting out of there. Getting out of Ottawa, folks.
No, and you said it best. Matthew has his father's personality. Brady is basically his mother, right?
Yes. Looks just like his mother too. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Maddie's too much of a playboy sometimes.
I said it to you 3 years ago. I said to you, quote, they got the best of that deal, and Florida don't know what they have on their hands. Well, when you think about it 3 years later, Tony.
Yeah, no, and people, it's hilarious how the national media said the Florida got screwed. That Huberdeau was the better part of that deal.
Huberdeau, as we speak, is a mental midget, bro.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Why did the national media say Florida got screwed?
Remember, we're talking Canadian media. And here in the United States, unless your team, like Boston, if your team is in it every year, they're going to talk hockey in the summertime. They're not doing that here in New York. They're not doing that in Philly. They're not doing that in Washington. They're not. They don't care.
Oh, what I was going to ask, do you think a Peter Laviolette would have been a good fit in Boston after they fired their previous coach?
Yeah, but he ain't going home to coach. Too much heat. He's not. He knows how the Boston media is up there.
Boston media is worse than New York media?
Not even close, bro.
I thought New York media is
is overrated. I keep telling you guys this. It's overrated. It's not the same anymore. I keep telling you guys that. New York has changed a lot. And the big reason is the personalities that came through here in the last 30 years. I mean, the guys who they like now here, these guys are Goody Goody Two Shoes, Judge, Brunson, Keith Kreider, DeAndre Miller. Those are Ranger guys, by the way.
Uh,
Hughes.
the bread man.
Well, he's a party animal.
He's basically, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. He's Ilya Kovalchuk of this generation.
No, Kovalchuk got married early, man.
But you said he was a party animal.
Nah, that's Ovi, man. Kuznetsov. There you go. That's the crew. Kuznetsov, Ovi, and Malkin.
No, but I thought you said Ilya before he got married, he was a party animal.
He got married real young, man. One thing about these Russian players, Tony, when they meet Russian women when they are young, they're like Anna Kovalchuk. They're like Sharapova. You get it?
Yeah.
Those guys get one of those, they're in.
Wait, no, it was Sergei Fedorov that you said. His teammates looked at him like, what the fuck? What the hell? Who was he chasing?
Kornikova, and he got Kornikova too.
but during his was it his own Russian teammates looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
No, everybody was looking at him that way on the Red Wings.
I honestly, my favorite player on those Red Wings team was Draper, Chris Draper.
The Red Wing teams were terrific. The Red Army. But I told the truth earlier. Moss is back from his beautiful cottage up in
Hey Moss, what's up?
Got away for a few days. Hockey starts September, what's the date? 2nd? September 17th, folks. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Training camps open around the NHL.
Do you have the dates for the playoff teams yet, Uncle, for training camp?
For who?
No, because not every team starts training camp on that day. In general, that's the team. That's the teams who start that day normally are teams who are in the top of the draft, getting more trying to get the rookies used to the NHL and stuff like that. The playoff teams like
no, go ahead.
What I'm wondering, the teams like Boston, Edmonton, Florida, Dallas, are they starting that day or do they start the day after?
Those guys, Edmonton, Calgary, start early because they have a tournament up in Western Canada. I think the town is called Penticton, British Columbia.
Oh, Schenectady?
No, Penticton, outside of Vancouver. Moss knows what it is. Moss knows where it is. They have the big tournament. This year is Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, and the Canucks.
Do you think the Canucks are ever going to get over the hump? Or
I don't know, but I'll tell you right now, I like the way their team is built right now. And I'll tell you, if I'm a Vancouver fan, I'm very excited about what's behind Thatcher Demko. I didn't even know Thatcher Demko was from Beverly Hills. Driving back
he's a California kid.
Has got 3 fantasy drafts today. Good luck with them.
Oh, are you going to do a hockey fantasy, Uncle?
I don't know yet. I'll think about it.
Honestly, in your honest opinion, when it comes to fantasy sports, which sport is the hardest to understand when it comes? Would you say baseball is the most difficult to understand?
Yeah, baseball is hard because you really got to be
a nerd.
Not only a nerd. You really got to know your baseball. You got
hockey
know
like that too.
Yeah, hockey's not easy.
I think the two easiest sports for fantasy are basketball and
Yeah, basketball is easy because you don't have to put much into it.
uh and football. Football is pretty easy.
The problem with football is everybody's going for the same players, so it saturates the talent pool. If you feel me on that.
Uh, Moss, where's the tournament that Uncle Mace is talking about? What city is that happening in?
Pennington, BC. You should know where that is. British Columbia. The Canucks. That's going to be a good tournament with their best
Wait, who?
prospect.
Wait. Did you say it's Edmonton, Montreal, and
No,
Vancouver?
Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Calgary. Their best prospects go against each other head to head. It's pretty good.
If they, do you think after the Coyotes moved to Utah, now do you think they're gonna add a since they moved a previous team? Do you think they're actually gonna bring back Quebec, Uncle?
I know Gary Bettman doesn't want to. The players want it
Why doesn't Gary want Quebec back in the league?
because it's fluent French up there.
So Quebec and Montreal are very like I can like what
Montreal, you
me
can speak English. In Quebec City, forget it. Quebec City is like being in Paris. No joke. It's like being in Paris.
well what I was gonna ask which media sports media is equivalent to Quebec and Montreal where their media only likes their players like to speak. You know how you say Quebec they only want you to speak French. Is there or are the media is very arrogant? Sports media is very arrogant like that. What American media would you say Dallas?
No. Here in the States,
Yeah,
Boston.
Boston media is like that.
Hell
Very
yeah.
arrogant.
Yes. They let you know that they're smarter than you. But all you do is just play a sport. And that's the only reason why you make the money you make. Now, one thing about Boston, and Moss can attest to this, you win there, you're forever a legend. Ask Thomas, the goalie,
Tim Thomas.
is always a legend in Beantown. Always a legend. Milan Lucic, legend. Our good,
Tuukka Rask.
yeah, our good buddy, uh, Brad Marchand, hero up there.
That's why they got pissed when who was it that hit him for the Panthers?
Tkachuk,
Was it was it Kachuk?
yeah,
Marchand is a good like is Marchand the first ballot, you think?
yeah. Bergeron,
And
him, Bergeron,
Patri-
him. Those guys are first ballot.
yeah, to me that's who that's who Barkov is going to replace winning all those defensive awards. You agree?
Not really,
He's good. Or
because
Bergeron.
Tony, there's always somebody that the Canadian media sees up and coming. You get my drift?
Up and coming.
Yes.
In terms of no, I'm talking about in terms of winning that what
The
what is it called?
Selkies?
The
Selkie.
Selkie.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm telling you. They always got their eye out for one of their own. Moss will tell you. winning these awards in the NHL is really politics, Tony. It's
You
politics.
and my you
But Barkov, because he won a Stanley Cup, and he's going to get another one, folks. I hate to tell you people out there, Florida's going to win two more. They'll be this generation's New Jersey Devils, where they'll lay their legacy in NHL lore. All you need is 3 cups, and you have a legacy in this sport forever.
what I have a question.
Yeah.
You say I say that they remind me more of the Detroit teams of the late '90s, early 2000s.
Which team?
Florida.
Not really. Detroit has megastars all over the place, man. Florida, let's be honest, it's a bunch of unknown dudes, and except for the big stars, Barkov and Chuck. I don't even want to
And
get into
Ekblad.
Barkov. Ekblad, yeah. But
You
Florida
you can't stand Bob. You really can't stand Bob.
Bobrovsky's a disgrace, bro.
Yeah,
And I
no.
heard he's hiding out somewhere. They say he's hiding, bro.
And I think
Tony,
you know what Florida's
you
getting.
know, Tony, you had a 3-0 lead comfortably, and that clown, because he saw Connor McDavid coming up the middle, he cracked under the pressure, bro.
No, and for me, like
Yeah, go ahead.
the goal. I'm not defending what he did, but let's be honest. I've said this multiple times. The 3 toughest positions to play in sports are the quarterback position, goalie, and in baseball, the catcher position. Do you agree?
Totally agree with you, Tony.
It's more for those 3 positions. It's more mental than physical. Do you agree?
Yes.
Because if you have one bad game as a goalie, it gets into your head.
That's what happened to Bobrovsky. Let me see what Moss is saying. Sorry about that, Moss. I wasn't ignoring you. Everybody here in New York is at the beach today. Moss, sports world, baseball is the hardest than NBA. Maybe just the NHL's easy to me. Yeah, because that's your sport up there. To me, the easiest sport is probably MLB. The hardest sport is the NBA because you have to have height. If you really believe that you're 5'6" and you're gonna make the NBA, you're crazy.
It was honestly, I don't think we're ever going to see guys like JJ Barea or Muggsy Bogues in the league anymore.
Exactly.
Was Muggsy a rare case?
Yeah. And Moss agreed with me. He said it in the chat. The NFL and the NHL always have some politics for the awards. Yeah, they do. If you don't think the Canadian media is not looking for the next Selkie guy, you're crazy.
Honestly, I think they're going to try to push, what's his face? The guy from Toronto.
I think I know who you talk about, because Toronto got a whole new team now, man. But they built it right.
Because Matthews was... People forget Matthews was the second guy. He was right behind Barkov. He had the most second-place votes.
Yeah, because he's a superstar. But one thing about Barkov, though, he's won 2. He got a cup. He's going to probably win 2 more before it's said and done for him. May even win an MVP.
And for me, this is why his playing style.
Yeah.
His playing style doesn't remind me of Teemu. Did Teemu win any Stanley Cups?
Yeah, Timo Solani, yeah.
Him and Teemu are going to be the greatest Finnish players of all time because of the 2 World Cup Stanley Cups that they have.
Not only that, they were great players, man. Timo Solani was my favorite player in the 90s.
Did you like Saku?
Koivu, yeah. When he was in Montreal, yeah. Pavelski is killing me, man. More said that, Pavelski.
And you know what the
Bro,
sad part about Florida is too? Their young kid is having issues. Their young goalie, um,
yeah.
Spencer Knight, has been in rehab the past 2 seasons.
For fantasy, MLB is the hardest. I totally agree. And hockey is the easiest one. Yeah, because you're a hockey diehard, bro. I'm a hockey diehard too, Moss, but not like you.
Honestly, for me, I do fantasy in other sports, and for me, the auto sports fantasy is really hard because you're trying to predict who's going to win the race, and it's always random. You don't really like NASCAR fantasy, IndyCar, and Formula One fantasy. It's so hard to predict because you don't know who's going to win the races. Really, like it's random sometimes. Even golf is pretty hard.
Yeah, I play golf. Barkov is the man. See, Moss got your back on Barkov.
Yeah, uh, and to be honest, when you look at between the two Finnish guys, would you say playing style wise, would you say a guy like Barkov leans more towards a Solani or a Koivu?
Neither one, because Koivu, Koivu, the Montreal Koivu,
The
because
younger Koivu,
Solani was electrifying.
Solani was he like? Do you
He
think
was
his defense gets underrated?
he was Johnny
Solani?
Gaudreau. He was Johnny Gaudreau before Johnny Gaudreau.
No, I understand he was electrifying, but do you think because his
He don't
offense
play
was
no
so
defense, man. He don't play no defense. Tony, you gotta understand something. When you can put the puck in the net, nobody cares about your defense, bro.
what was that's a question. Do you think the defensive aspect of the game were you saw more of that with the American players than you saw with like Canadian and European players
Nah,
back then?
Canadian guys took those pucks to their face, bro. But defense is boring. But again, defense and goaltending. Perfect example what I'm talking about is the Vancouver Canucks. They don't have a lot of scoring, but what do they have? You can argue
Great
the best
defense and
blue
goaltending,
line. Exactly. Demko, after game one against Nashville, missed the rest of the playoffs. Moss
and that
agrees.
screwed. Yeah, that that's what screwed. Honestly, to me, that's what screwed uh, Vancouver.
Yeah.
Once Demko got injured, they didn't have a backup to back him up.
No, the backups was good. They didn't score enough. You know, when you're playing Edmonton, right? You gotta beat them 1-7-5 because that sends Edmonton a message.
I've
When you
always
beat Edmonton 3-2, Edmonton goes, so what? We'll see you up in Alberta, and we're gonna put 6 on you.
I've always, it's funny you say he's a bigger Bergeron because I've always assumed Bergeron and Barkov are the same height.
Nah, Bergeron was a little guy. He was a little
Unless
guy.
I'm,
In the hockey
unless I'm
world.
thinking, unless
Barkov
I'm
is a
thinking,
big dude. Tone. Barkov is a big dude. You know what I saw the other night, Tony, to prove my point to you? I
yeah,
saw the intro of the Rangers and the Florida Panthers when they played at Madison Square Garden. It was game 5, and they showed the Panthers getting off the bus, walking up the tunnel. It was led by Kachuk. Barkov was on his left side. Barkov is a big man.
and I can't remember the guy who said this on NHL Network. He says Barkov to him is a combination of Patrice Bergeron with the defense and the skill of a Matt Sundin.
I would agree with that. I agree with that. Look what defense go for in free agency and trade. Yeah, look what the Bruins played for my man.
You saw
McCullough.
Matt.
That's a good
You
play
said
for him.
you and Moss. Do you think a guy like Sundin gets overshadowed a little bit
Yeah,
because of
because
the
he
guys
never
he
won.
played?
Because he never won anything.
But he was a great player, right?
Of course, he's in the Hockey Hall of Fame, first ballot. But when you don't win, bro, see in hockey, to get into the Hall of Fame, you have to have numbers. It's like baseball. But after you get in, and the two players who get this more than anybody else, and Moss would agree with this, Gino Cicerelli and Mike Gartner. Mike Gartner is one of four players in the history of the sport that scored over 700 goals. No one talks about him, bro. Nobody
No
talks
Stanley
about
Cup.
Mike Gartner. Exactly.
Yeah, no. Matt Sundin, I'm gonna use a comparison to him in football. He's
Good
Dan Marino.
afternoon.
Like in terms of what you're talking about, Matt Sundin is basically Dan Marino.
No, I wouldn't put him there. No.
No, I'm not talking about the talent in terms of being forgotten by the sport.
Yeah. Max is forgotten. Yeah. Barkov, big man, does little things all good and has little guy moves too. Facts.
Yeah, no,
Facts. I agree with that.
and people don't realize how big that stick he uses is either. Like, I forgot this guy played for the he's on NHL Network right now, and he said he played with the Panthers with Barkov, and he said he tried to use Barkov's stick, and he can't understand how Barkov's able to do with.
I saw that show. That was during the Stanley Cup playoffs. I saw that show.
Like,
I
and people
forgot the player's name, but I remember he said that.
people forget. People don't realize. I think I can't remember who they said had the largest sticks in the league. Barkov is one of them. I think it's Eichel. Eichel has a long stick. Like, him and Eichel have the longest sticks in the league. They have like a 13-inch, like I forgot how long they said the stick is, and the blade of the stick, the end of the stick on the bottom is really wide. I think it's like 14, 15, 20 inches.
Moss would know that better than me.
Moss. Remember, I think it was during the playoffs they were talking about the longest sticks in the league, and they said Barkov, Eichel, and I can't. Oh, it was Matthews. Austin Matthews uses one of the longest sticks in the league, too. Yeah, I agree. And Matthews not a small guy either, which is shocking to me that Barkov looks way bigger than he does.
Barkov is a big Euro. I keep telling you, he's a big man. These hockey players are a lot bigger than you think.
And Grudreau, honestly, back to Johnny. People don't realize height-wise he wasn't that tall, but when you look at him, how he's built, Johnny was a big dude.
Nah, he was just Tony. He was a string bean, bro.
Johnny?
Yeah, he was, bro. I saw him every night, Tony, until he went to Columbus of all places. But yeah. Johnny was a little dude, bro, but he was electrifying. I'll say it again.
Can you imagine a Johnny Grudreau, like, before he got traded? Let's say the Panthers didn't get. Can you imagine him paired up with Barkov?
It would be something because Grudreau was a left winger. Yeah, that would have been a nice combination.
Like, and Barkov to me is like Moss said, he's not great at. He's not a superstar at one thing. He's good at everything. He's a jack of all trades.
And you got to add one more thing to that. He's a Stanley Cup champion.
So of an old school player, of an old school guy, like that you saw growing up, who does Barkov remind you of?
Peter Bondra.
Bondra?
Yeah,
Bondra
Bondra.
was good at every.
He was great at goal scoring.
No. What I'm saying in terms of being great on both sides of the ice.
Yeah, Bondra was good both sides of the ice because in those capital days, when Bondra played, you had to play defense. That was their forte. Exactly. Moss confirmed what I said. Johnny Grudreau was skinny. He was. The little guy.
Oh, I've always just no because you know what it is. When I look on TV sometimes makes these guys bigger than they actually are. So I've always assumed Johnny was like over 200 pounds.
Tony, you know what you should do? I know you're closer to Tampa Bay than you are Sunrise.
Yeah.
I would go to a game one day. When Florida comes to Tampa, get tickets for that game. Go, if the game starts at 7, they usually play on Saturday nights, so the game's going to start at 6 down in Tampa.
Yeah.
Go around 4:30, and they'll let you go down and watch the skate and see how big these players really are. You will be mesmerized.
Yeah, no. For me, the guy who I used Goudreau as a wrong example. Stamkos to me is shocking how big he actually is.
Yeah, Stamkos is a big boy. Bro,
Yeah,
let me tell
no.
you, I went to see Pavel Bure, okay, when he was with Florida. So that had to be the year 2000. I saw him out there, and I was like, this dude, this midget, is doing all this terrorizing in the sport. Bure was not a big guy.
Bure and would you say Bure and Johnny are around the same size?
I think Bure, yeah, about the same size. Yeah, but Bure was physically big. Like, he was strong, bro.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. Height wise, they're the same size, but Bure was built like a tank almost.
Of course, he's Russian. Those
Did
Russians back in the day were physical specimens, man.
do you? Uh, how about it? Do you think what hurt his brother or is the injuries Slava?
Slava who?
Do you think what hurt the Kozlov brothers, Victor and Slava, was the injuries?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You saw a young Victor before he got all the injuries. Do you think he was a good player?
Yes. And the
Was he
beautiful
always in
thing
Florida, or did he start his career somewhere else? Victor,
somewhere else.
was he in Canada? Where did he start his career?
I forgot. Moss would know. I think he
Ma,
started. He wasn't in Detroit. I know
Slava
that.
was in Detroit, I thought.
Yeah, but you're talking about the other.
Victor Kozlov. Moss, where did Victor Kozlov start his career before he went to Florida? Moss said Johnny used to put pucks in his pants to make himself look bigger.
Oh man.
Yeah, no. They said Johnny at the max was like 160 pounds.
60 pounds. Yeah.
So Moss, we were just talking about Victor and Slava. Victor
He
specifically.
started in he started in San Jose. Went to the Maple Leafs. Was
So he
traded
was on
back
a
to
team
San
with Teemu.
Jose.
Victor was on the same team with Teemu Solani, and
No, he wasn't. He wasn't in San Jose yet. Then he went back to Toronto. back to San Jose. Then he was with the Panthers with Bore, and he had some very good years in Florida.
And
I remember him in New Jersey, and he ended up with Ovi. Ovi loves all of his Russian buddies around him. Fucking Russian, man.
and
Yeah, go ahead. What?
No, we're back to the group, that group of guys with Ovechkin, Malkin, Kuznetsov, and so you're saying Ilya was the calm one out of that bunch.
Yeah, he left because he got married very early. I'm gonna tell it to you again, Tony. These Russian guys, when they meet a hot Russian blonde, they're not with the boys anymore. See, Ovi is a party animal, but once he got married, he don't be doing that shit no more. Now in Moscow he does, because the wife knows he's downtown somewhere, acting like a fool.
But he's not doing that here in the United States.
No. For these hockey players, it takes a long time for them to find the right woman, bro, because they all want dime pieces, bro.
Wait, is Pasternak Russian? Is Pasternak Russian?
No, but Mars, put in the chat what ethnic is Pasternak.
I know Panarin's Russian.
Yeah,
the bread man.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can't stand Panarin.
Ovechkin can't say shit about him because he got 2 cups, so he can't say nothing about Panarin.
Wait, Panarin got a? Oh yeah, he got one with the Rangers, right?
No, he got 2 with the Blackhawks.
But Artemi, to me, Artemi gets overshadowed by Patrick and Kane and the defenseman.
And Patrick Sharp. Sharp was money for those Blackhawks teams,
man. For me, the guy I liked, I know he's not American, but my favorite player on those Blackhawk teams were Jonathan Taves.
I know he's Canadian. Yeah, he's from Winnipeg.
And I like Duncan Keith.
Keith is a Hall of Famer, bro.
Who was a young Keith?
Brent Seabrook was his partner. Brent Seabrook was his partner.
Was it Yandel on those teams too?
Yep.
Keith Yandel?
I used to watch those teams every night, man. The Blackhawks, yeah, I used to watch them every night because I had the hockey package. And I know if I click on the Blackhawks when they're home, after 11 o'clock, it's at least 7.5 minutes left in the game. I was always right. Blackhawks, when they were the dynasty, they used to play late into the night, folks, in Chicago.
They would always go into overtime?
Yeah, because they used to let you up 5-0, come back and beat you in overtime. Yeah. Those Blackhawks were special teams, bro.
Is Brent in your honest opinion, do you think Brent is a Hall of Famer?
He's gonna miss it. Just miss it. But he was damn good though.
Was he wait, I thought end up going to Winnipeg or somewhere after Chicago?
I think he was traded somewhere else. But
was it?
They're gonna they already retired Chelios's number because he wore the same number Chris Chelios did.
Out of all those, like the Detroit team, do you think the American players got overshadowed because of the amount of Russians?
There were no American players on that team, Tony, except for Darren McCarty.
Wait, I thought Draper is American. Chris Draper.
Nah, he's Canadian.
Oh, wow. I've always assumed Chris Draper and Chelios were American.
There's a story Johnny used to put pucks in his pants. Damn. So he can weigh more. Damn, Johnny. Good to have Braves ball with us. And he's going to join us a lot more. He
That
was awesome.
honestly, to me, that's sad.
Yeah.
Johnny, John. I feel so. To be honest, I feel bad. Kind of feel bad for Johnny a little bit because of the guys he got drafted with, specifically McDavid. McDavid over. If McDavid wasn't drafted that year, I think Johnny would have been the superstar in that draft
Tony, I'm going to say it to you again. America didn't even know who the hell Connor McDavid was.
because of Johnny.
Yeah, exactly, because of how deep Edmonton finally went in the NHL playoffs. See, a team like Edmonton captures your imagination.
Florida is a boring team. You think?
Well, Florida plays the right way. They punch you in the face,
And
take
then
your
they
win,
can score.
and they win championships. What do you
This
want?
uh when you look at the like you said they remind you of the Devils,
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
except we don't have a consistent goalie like Marty Brodeur.
that and one more thing. You don't have the defensive stars they did, bro.
Yeah, they had Scott Stevens. Uh,
Niedermeyer, Danico. I gotta remember the other three.
wait, were both Stevens? Were both did both Niedermeyer brothers play for the Devils at the same time?
No, only Scott.
Oh,
As soon as Scott's contract ended up after 12 years, he got the hell out of Jersey.
did they ever play together?
Anaheim, they won a championship together.
When you look at both Scotty Niedermeyer and Robbie, who do you like better?
It's not even close. Scott Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer, first ballot Hall of Famer, man.
Is Robbie a first ballot? You think?
Robbie's never making it to the Hall of Fame, bro. You gotta look at his numbers.
He
Not
doesn't
even
have
close.
enough numbers.
Not even close.
Even honestly, to me, as a sports fan, the two sports I like because of the fact that they do it by stats, not by rings, is hockey and baseball. I hate
Exactly.
basketball and I hate football for that fact that they care more about the Super Bowl ring and NBA championships.
Yep. Look at this defense. Tommy Abilene. That's a blast from the past. Danico. Sean Chambers. Kevin Dion. Kevin Dean. That was their defense, along with Niedermeyer and Scott Stevens, bro.
Were, were Niedermeyer and Stevens on the same pairing, or was
Same
Niedermeyer on
parent.
the?
Same parent.
Who was more of the offensive guy?
Niedermeyer. Scott
So
Stevens
so
was the enforcer,
so Scott was basically the
the headhunter.
the stay at home guy.
Yeah, the headhunter. Ruined Eric Lindros' career.
Would you? People said uh, Stevens was dirty. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but
I
Scott
think he
Stevens was
straddled
a
the
big
line.
boy.
Like
He was
to
a
me,
big
he
boy.
straddled the line.
Yeah, but he's a big man. No one's gonna f with that. You ain't gonna get into a fight with Scott Stevens. He's too massive.
For you, of the modern era, who are the greatest defensive defensemen?
Right now, in today's world,
No, like from the beginning of the 2000 from the end of the 2000s to now.
well, first of all, You gotta put a guy like
Chara.
Chara definitely. Uh, my man in Calgary, uh, Mark Giordano,
Giordano.
to name two. Uh,
The guy that played with the Rangers, I forgot his name. Who was the not Giord? Uh, there was a defensive defenseman that played for the Rangers. hmm Is Cale Makar more offensive or defensive? Huh, Uncle? Moss is would you consider Cale Makar an offensive defenseman or defensive defenseman, or is he a two-way defender?
I apologize for that, folks. Lost my connection. The Wi-Fi broke. It's back fixed now. I was out for like 5 minutes. I apologize for that. Folks, pull up tonight. I'm gonna let everybody come up, talk whatever they want to talk about. Moss, thank you. Iman, thank you. Tony, thank you as always. And of course, Braves Ball 8, appreciate you pulling up today to talk about the life and times of Johnny Grudreau. We will see you tonight, 7:30 Eastern Time. We're going to have a nice old-fashioned night show tonight. So we'll see you then. I appreciate you. You guys have a good afternoon. Enjoy your picnic, your barbecue, a day at the beach. And I always appreciate you. People in the clouds, thank you also. People on Facebook also. We'll see you tonight, everybody. 7:35 Eastern. We'll do some more tribute to Goudreau, but I'm gonna let the panel come up and talk whatever they want to talk about. Have a great afternoon. Happy holiday, everybody. God bless America.